United States Steel Corporation, 500,000 employees and stockholders, presents the Theater Guild on the Air. Our play tonight is Jacobowsky and the Colonel by F.N. Behrman, based on the original by Franz Werfel, starring Louis Calhern as the Colonel, Annabella as Marianne, and Oscar Kalbeis as Jacobowsky. And here is Lawrence Langner, co-director with Teresa Helburn of the Theater Guild, to tell you about tonight's play. Mr. Langner.
Ladies and gentlemen, our second play, Jacobowsky and the Colonel, is not a play about military strategy, as you might imagine from its title, but a romantic comedy drama with serious undertones. It tells the adventures of a little refugee Jacobowsky, a tall, handsome Polish colonel, and a beautiful French girl, Marianne. I'd like to take you behind the scenes tonight and tell you how this play came to be written. When the late Franz Werfel, author of the Song of Bernadette and co-author of Jacobowsky, was a refugee in France, he met on a train another refugee. This refugee told him some amusing and romantic experiences he'd had escaping from Paris in a second-hand car owned by Baron Rothschild and driven by a Polish colonel. Some years later, Werfel told the story at a dinner party given by Max Reinhardt in Hollywood. A number of playwrights were present, including the famous author S.N. Behrman. Werfel told his story so amusingly that everyone at the dinner table was convulsed with laughter. And after dinner, no fewer than 3 playwrights took Werfel aside and suggested, very confidentially, that they collaborate on a play based on his story. And each suggested a different kind of play. Werfel was particularly interested in Mr. Behrman's ideas. But Behrman wanted to write a comedy, and Werfel wanted to write a drama. So they finally got together on a comedy drama. Ever since then, whenever anyone tells a funny story at a dinner table, I listen hopefully for another Jacobowsky. But so far, no luck. You've selected our play tonight not only for its enchanting wit and romance, but also for its kindness and tolerance and human understanding. And now the play, Jacobowsky and the Colonel.
This is Paris, on the evening of June 13th, 1940. There has been an air raid alert, and the guests of one of the small hotels have gathered down in the basement in the laundry where Madame Bouffier, the proprietress, is trying to make everyone believe that he's safe and secure.
Quiet! Quiet! Sit down, everyone. Now, are we all comfortable?
Madame Bouffier, why should the Germans kill me? I am an old woman. Help me.
Madame,
help
no more
me.
of that. If Monsieur Jacobowsky were here, he would make you see you are foolish. Oh, I wonder where he is.
Does it matter?
Certainly it matters. Monsieur Jacobowsky would tell you the sensible thing is to be sensible. Now, here we are. We are calm. We are quiet. We are... Monsieur, will you kindly knock before you burst into the room? Who are you?
Please, quick, I'm stranger, and I'm looking for Polish Colonel Chesterton. I must see him at once.
Colonel Jabinski is upstairs in his room, asleep.
Asleep in an air raid?
Your colonel refuses to take air raids seriously. And that other Pole, his orderly, he also sleeps. Look, there on the table.
Where? Oh, Sabunievich. Wake up. Where's your room, Mr. Colonel?
He's not here?
Obviously he's not here. And I risked my life to bring him these documents. The Germans will be here any minute.
What did he say? The Germans already in Paris? Oh, merciful heaven.
Quiet, Madame. Quiet, everyone. Quiet. Be calm.
The Germans are in Paris. I heard him say.
The Germans are not in Paris, madame, believe me.
Oh, Monsieur Jacobowsky. Oh, thank goodness you're here.
I've just been in the Rue Royale, and I assure you there isn't a German in sight. In fact, there isn't even a Parisian in sight. I was the only one in sight.
The Rue Royale? Monsieur Jacobowsky. Suppose there had been a falling building or a bomb.
One Jacobowsky more or less. The world has endured so much, it could endure that too.
In Nora, I left everything behind. I'm an old woman and I fled in France itself. I can't believe it.
You'll get used to flight, Madame Aron. I've spent all my life in a futile effort to become a citizen of some country. You know, I speak 7 languages fluently. Wrong, but fluently. My first migration was from Poland to Germany. Need I explain why I moved from Germany to Vienna and then Prague and then Paris? Paris, city of lights. I understood exactly how Heine felt when he got here. And I said to myself, you are Heine, without a genius. And now I have a feeling that there's ahead of me still another migration. Well, you see, one gets used to it.
But the Germans are coming. What should we do?
Yes, Mr. Jacobowsky, what do you say to that?
My poor mother always used to say, no matter what happens in life, there are always 2 possibilities. And that's true. For example, right now, it is a dark moment. And yet, even now, there are 2 possibilities. The Germans, either they come to Paris or they jump to England. If they don't come to Paris, it's good. But if they do come to Paris, again, there are 2 possibilities. Either we succeed in escaping or we don't. If we succeed, that's good. But if we don't succeed, there are always 2 possibilities. The Germans, either they'll put us in a good concentration camp, or they put us in a bad concentration camp.
2 fine possibilities.
Please, I cannot wait any longer.
Who is this? What is it you cannot wait for?
These documents I must give to Colonel Cherbinsky. Where is he?
Yes, Colonel.
Oh, thank goodness.
You will prepare our departure from Paris.
Yes, Colonel.
Oh, and Shabanievich, go pack my things. Do not forget my violin, eh? I will go for a stroll and perhaps buy myself a souvenir of Paris.
But Colonel Jabinski, you cannot go now. There's an air raid.
Air raid? By whom is this air raid?
It is the Germans.
Hey, you think I fear the Germans? You think I do not know the sound of German bombs and which way they come? When I hear them, I walk the other way.
But if you open the door, you show a light in the street, and then they will padlock my hotel.
No, they will not. They will act the time. Tomorrow, the police of Paris will be running errands for the Germans.
Do you mean, Colonel, that the Germans will meet with no further resistance?
This I know because I have seen. The French divisions, fine soldiers, have nothing with which to fight. The regiment I command is a force of 3,000 Polish boys. Now of them is left only 15. And I am their father. I lost my children, 3,000 of them. This I know. This I feel here in my heart.
Then, Colonel, it is your considered opinion that France is lost.
No, monsieur, she is not lost. She is gift to the Germans. Charming gift to the Germans. Shabanievich, pack my things.
Colonel, please, this strange gentleman just come. He waits for you.
Yes, Colonel. I have the documents to give you.
And give?
Here they are. Everything in code. Every plan and communication is there. You must get it to our government in London.
Oh, yes, I bring it to London.
In the cafe of Papa Clarion, in Saint-Jean-de-Luz, you meet the man with the grey gloves.
What, grey gloves?
He will give you passage on Corvette to London. You meet him on the 18th in the afternoon. That's only 6 days. Therefore, I must impress upon you, sir, time is of the essence.
And I must impress upon you, my desk bureaucrat, you speak to one of Pilsudski's colonels. I deliver the papers, my own methods, my own way, my own time.
If you're not there on the afternoon of the 18th, the Corvette will sail without you.
If necessary, I swim to London. Shabanievich, we leave Paris now.
How?
I take planes.
Last plane leave yesterday night.
All right, I go by car.
Vice-Consul go off yesterday night. He take all 4 cars.
Now, what for is pig need 4 cars? No car gets me horse.
Horse?
Why not? In one day, a good horse covers as many kilometers as your medium tank, eh? Pack my trunk, put in everything you see.
Colonel, if you please.
Who is this?
My name is Jacobowsky, S.L. Jacobowsky. In a certain sense, I'm a countryman. I, too, was born in Poland.
About this, there is nothing I can do.
So I understand, Colonel, it's very important for you to leave Paris.
Monsieur, what is your name?
Jacobowsky, by your leave.
You eavesdrop on my conversation.
Eavesdrop? Why do I have to eavesdrop if I hear without eavesdropping? So my suggestion is that possibly we can get a car in which to leave Paris.
We?
The good Madame Bouffier here, she has spoken to me of a car for sale. If the car were available, we could take it together.
Monsieur, you persist in the use of this intimate pronoun, we. If I travel alone. When I travel with company, it's company that I choose.
Admirable way to travel, and from my side, I would choose you gladly, because you are a strong man. If you will forgive me for saying so, I'm a resourceful man. So strength plus resourcefulness. Isn't that a good combination for an emergency? Tell me frankly, sir, your opinion.
I do not understand your mentality.
Everything prepared to go, Colonel.
Then we must go, Shabanievich. The lady is waiting. Must not keep lady waiting is not gracious.
Lady? Where?
Have I not explained? Mademoiselle Rollet. I promised to take her with me.
Colonel, forgive me. The errand is over. Might this not be a good time to resume our conversation?
Oh, you are Monsieur Wolfson, no?
Yes, Jacobowsky, if you don't mind. My poor mother always used to say, no matter how hopeless things look, there are always two possibilities.
I disagree with your mother.
But I can prove it mathematically.
Now, why do you speak to me mathematically? Hear me, Monsieur Wolfson. For a true man, there is one possibility.
That's not enough. With one possibility, I can't maneuver.
I repeat, Monsieur Wolfson, for a man of honor, there is one possibility.
If that were true, I would be dead I don't know how many times. I must tell you, sir, that this may be the last chance to get a car in Paris.
All right, I go on horseback.
They will be never in Saint-Jean-de-Luz on the 18th. You should on horseback.
You eavesdrop this, too? Jacobowsky, disengage me from this fellow.
Monsieur Jacobowsky, the man is here to show you the automobile.
Yes, I am coming.
Colonel, please, he is going. Maybe he get comfortable car. So, look, Colonel, he's gone.
You know I travel alone. Well, what are you waiting for? Marianne waits me. That's Sancerre.
Marianne! It's Sancerre.
Sancerre. I explained once. I never explained twice. Sancerre.
Well, I thought the lady was here. Sancerre is not.
Of course it's not. You think I think it's in the east, the south, the west?
But that is where the Germans are.
Since when do I fear the Germans?
But, Colonel...
Marianne awaits me. Marianne, I come to you.
But Colonel, Sancerre is north. Colonel, I beg you, Colonel. Oh, I wish Colonel was Jacobowsky. Then maybe we get out of Paris.
Now, monsieur, what is the name?
Jacobowsky.
Monsieur, having brought this beautiful automobile to the doorstep of your hotel, I now ask you to consider nothing but the plain facts. Now, where are the Germans? At Meaux. Which way are they marching? This way. Tomorrow they'll be marching at the Champs-Élysées. What an optimist I am. This evening.
Come to the point, if you please.
The Germans will enter Paris from west, northwest. Whereas here, before you, stands one of the most faithful autos in France, ready to drive you west, southwest.
Come to the point, if you please.
In this car, monsieur, you will travel like a king.
I don't want to be so conspicuous. Come to the point. What do you want? I've been listening to your talk for 20 minutes. Your wife and your children are as familiar to me by now as my own face. I know what you want to eat, to drink, what newspaper you read, but what do you want for the car?
Monsieur, this superb vehicle will cost you a mere flea bite. 40,000 francs.
Thank you very much for your trouble. Goodbye.
Monsieur, please. I wait your counter proposals. Did I say 40? I meant only 30.
I want to buy this car. You want to sell it. Fact?
Fact.
You told me the Germans will be here any minute. You have to sell this car or the Germans will dump it in the river. Fact? Fact. And look at the tires. And under the hood. Oh, my goodness. What's going on in there? Black and greasy, a regular Dante's Inferno in there.
Monsieur, that motor works like my own heart.
How do I know you haven't got a heart condition? So all in all, this venerable monument isn't worth 10,000 francs.
Monsieur.
Attention, monsieur. The final price is 15,000.
Monsieur, for the sake of my children.
For the sake of your children, 16,000.
You are overreaching an old soldier of Verdun.
For the sake of Verdun, 17,000. Here, take it.
I take it. Here's the ownership license and the ignition key.
Ignition key? What do you do with the ignition key?
Monsieur, in the lock, you were... No, not in the door lock, no. Monsieur, you don't know what to do with the ignition key?
Now it occurs to me that I don't know how to drive a car. At home I always had a driver.
Well, good luck, monsieur. I must go.
Charbonnier, why do you say there's no car left in Paris? Here is car?
Yes, Colonel. Here she stands.
Colonel, maybe I can negotiate.
Why negotiate? You're welcome to it. Are you by any chance, Colonel, an automobilist?
I am cavalryist.
But modern cavalry is motorized.
In Poland, no.
Since we are now away from the advantages of Poland, can you drive an automobile?
If road is correct and straight, I can drive. Curve, I do not care to see. I remember you now. You are Monsieur Leibowitz.
Yes, Jacobowsky.
You are Pole?
I was born in Poland. It's the first of my native land.
Oh, so? Where in Poland were you born?
In the village of Studno, near Kazin.
So, Studno near Stanislav. My father has great estates there, owns many villages.
Perhaps it's interesting for us to travel together.
Interesting? How interesting?
Psychologically. You are, if I may mix the ball, suddenly cast in a new role. Instead of being in the enviable position of persecuting other people, you are persecuted yourself. Now, I am used to that, and I'll help you get used to it, too.
I need no help from you, monsieur. But since you are countryman, Monsieur Jolowski, I will tell you. I have vital documents for our Polish motherland's fight for freedom. If I consent to drive your car, it's not for help, only for purpose to bring out from danger these important papers.
Naturally, I accept the honor.
Of course, I cannot deny any man right to be patriot. Monsieur, I will drive. Everybody, get in the car.
Colonel, first let me tell you, I have learned our route. Main Boulevard, Place la Bastille, Ivry, and then down Route Nationale West, Southwest.
You are wrong, Jolowski. Our route is Champs-Élysées, Saint-Cloud, Neuilly, Route Nationale West, Northwest.
Northwest? Something wrong with my hearing? Did he say Northwest?
That's what he said. That's where we go.
But Northwest? They are the Germans. Oh, dear. I don't ask for a shoe larger than my foot, but after all, it's my car, isn't it?
My car? What means this my car, Jacobowsky? On stormy sea, you say this lifeboat is my lifeboat? The devil take you. I leave this car. Dominovich? Horses.
Monsieur Jacobowsky, you should not irritate Colonel. We go first to pick up lady.
Lady? What kind of lady?
Lady Love.
And I suppose a lady who would interest the Colonel to such an extent where he risks his life on documents, well, she must be a very rare person.
Of course.
Colonel, excuse me. You are right. You are a strategist. You have a plan. Which direction you like, I agree.
All right. I get in car. Where is the thing that starts? Now we go. Jolowski, what dirty thing is this? I give her spurs to this villain, she don't move.
My dear Colonel, why don't you release the brake?
What's this, the brake? Oh, the brake. I release.
Paris, farewell. We desert your dear city because we flee from the Germans, northwest. I don't understand that myself.
We go.
Yes, but where?
At Santeria. Behold, we stand at the gate of Marianne's home. Here is the object of my heart's desire.
And may I point out, my dear Colonel, we are also 12 hours nearer to the Germans. I ask you, Colonel, is this a time to stop for ladies?
To this lady in this house, this Colonel has given his word to return. But this, of course, you would not understand because the concept of honor is not for you.
Your concept of honor is a little exclusive, don't you think?
I do not think. I feel. I act. Food I eat, gun I shoot, horse I ride, woman I love, and honor I defend.
Admirable, a Renaissance figure as sure as the world is around.
Who says that?
Who says what?
That the world is round?
I don't insist. There is no doubt, Colonel, you have one of the finest minds of the 15th century. Unfortunately, I live in the 20th.
Colonel, look. Is light in window of house. I go knock.
Now, blow the horn.
If you wake lady with automobile horn, I break your hands for this. Jacobowsky, child, hand me my violin. We serenade her.
I'm sorry, you, Colonel. See your lady and let's go. You picked this moment for a recital? You too, Jacobowsky, a mouth organ, a regular orchestra. Is this real? The earth is crimson, Poland light flame, and this last of her dead stands here fiddling in the moonlight. It's a grotesque dream, my dream.
Silence, if you please.
Tadeusz!
Marianne, I am returned.
I'm here, Tadeusz.
My arms wait to receive you. Jacobowsky, stop this unsuitable music. Marianne, I speak quick. We must go.
Go?
Yes, to Bordeaux, to London.
Then it's true. France is defeated.
For the moment.
Everybody said it. And now you say it. Then it must be true. France is... Oh, who is that?
Oh, no, not to be frightened, my life. It's only S.L. Jacobowsky.
The modest owner of this car, mademoiselle, which bears us all to safety.
Marianne, please to go and pack.
No, Tadeusz, my love. I cannot leave. I've never left France. I never shall.
But I demand. It's necessary we do not talk.
Colonel, if you please.
You interrupt, Jacobowsky. What do you want?
I overheard your discussion.
Always you eavesdrop.
The Colonel, my dear lady, is a peculiar man. When he shouts to me and I answer, he says, I eavesdrop. But, madame, if I may make so bold, right now, the shortest distance between this gate and that house behind that gate is Bordeaux, London, and back. And please remember, madame, to come back here, the Colonel risked his life.
Thaddeus.
And what's more, he risked mine. Did we do that for nothing?
You mean, Monsieur Jacobowsky, you are returning to fight for France again?
Not I, he.
No, he is no soldier, Marianne.
I fight in my own way. Here I'm a superfluous man. But even a superfluous man wants to go on being superfluous. Please, madame, hurry, join us.
This Jacobowsky is very funny.
Oh, he is traveling acquaintance merely?
But amusing and sympathetic. Oh, Thaddeus, I will have to pack my things.
And I will help. Jacobowsky, get gasoline. You see, my Lord Jacobowsky is a very obliging person. Car, hotel rooms, gasoline, what you will, Jacobowsky provides.
If you get gasoline, that's wonderful help. Monsieur Jacobowsky, good luck.
Jacobowsky, fill up the tank.
Fill up the tank. Easy to say. Pipeline to the sky. Good evening. Oh, I beg your pardon, officer. I didn't see you arrive. Good evening.
May I see your safe conduct pass, monsieur? Also your identification, if you please.
The one fate you can't escape, your own identity.
May I ask, monsieur, what are your personal plans?
My personal plans are so fluid, I'm apt to drown in them.
As a foreigner, you have no right to fluctuate freely without the proper authorization.
But I'm fluctuating under compulsion, not freely.
This paper you hand me, monsieur, gives you a basic place of residence as Paris. To move to where you are now, you are required to submit to the Commissariat of Police an application which will then be transmitted to the Prefecture, which, after examination, will forward your application to the Central Military Bureau of Circulation, which will then decide whether you have the right to move to this spot to which you have already moved.
But, officer, I assure you, I find this spot most uncomfortable.
What's that?
God, must be the Germans.
Officer, when I hear that, I have an irresistible desire to leave the soil of France. Please tell me, how should I go about it?
That would require an unofficial explanation. I cannot give an unofficial explanation until I am off duty.
When will that be?
9 o'clock.
Wait, it is now 1.5 minutes to 9.
Too soon. In the meantime, I can tell you officially that for the purpose of leaving France, you must apply to the nearest sous-prefecture, first executing 3 questionnaires, each with photographs, profile showing right here with a fee of 27 francs 75 centimes. A special commission will then investigate whether you're worthy to set foot on French soil and whether you're worthy to leave it. However, I must frankly tell you that your prospects are nil. After all, what consideration can you expect from a government which you have caused so much clerical work? You better come along with me. If you don't mind, we will ride in your car.
But, officer, that's my greatest difficulty. I have no gasoline.
No gasoline? What a pity.
Officer, look, it's 9 o'clock.
Then I'm off duty. Here, take this stamped document. My colleague in Saint-Cyry will furnish you with 30 gallons of gasoline at the standard price. Good evening, monsieur, and good luck.
Goodbye, my friend, and thank you.
Monsieur Jacobowsky.
Yes, mademoiselle.
Oh, Monsieur Jacobowsky, would you help me with these packages? I think you are so nice to take us out in your car. Did you get gasoline?
Yes, you are good fortune, mademoiselle. A warm rain came down from heaven, and behold, it was gasoline.
Pipeline from the sky.
Yes.
What are you laughing at?
Oh, Thaddeus. Nothing.
Well, why do you laugh, Jacobowsky?
For no reason.
Marianne, it's not possible to take all these packages.
Why not?
Well, because there is no room. Cannot take all this stuff.
Colonel, you are a great man, but as a refugee, I'm more experienced. Nothing is so warming to morale in difficult hours as a few familiar knickknacks. It's important, especially for a lady.
You are so understanding, Monsieur Jacobowsky. But we'll compromise, Thaddeus. I will leave behind this hat box.
This will help a great deal. This hat box is no bigger than little cabbage.
Colonel.
Yes?
Four papers in a little hat.
Jacobowsky, what is this you say?
Hide documents in little hat.
Attention, I have important idea. We will take this little hat box, Marianne. In your little hat, we will sew my documents. The Germans will never think to look for them there. Now at last we go. Marianne, the back seat. Jacobowsky, beside me in front.
But it's so crowded here in the back of the car. Monsieur Jacobowsky, where will you sit?
With great happiness at your feet.
Jacobowsky, Change places with Jacobowsky.
No, I like him here. He comforts me.
Less and less I like this Jacobowsky. Vigo!
You are listening to the Theater Guild on the Air, presented by the United States Steel Corporation. Tonight's play is Jacobowsky and the Colonel, starring Louis Calhern, Annabella, and Oscar Cartwright. And now, before our second act begins, speaking for United States Steel, here is the well-known reporter of the American Broadcasting Company, George Hicks.
Good evening. One of the strangest schoolhouses I've ever heard of was an old railroad passenger car. On the inside of the car were blackboards and a small elevated stage from which the teachers held their classes. There was even a portable motion picture unit. This little red schoolhouse was borrowed from a local railroad by United States Steel and moved from one part of a huge plant to another by regular plant locomotives. The students were steel workers of all ages, both men and women, who were getting special training to advance them in their jobs. This rolling schoolhouse was part of U.S. Steel's tremendous employee training program begun long before the war. Benjamin Fairless, now president of U.S. Steel, back in 1936, summed up Steel's philosophy of training by saying that it provides job opportunities limited only by the capabilities of the individual and benefits not only the individual but the community and industry as well. And that's exactly the way it worked out. Through this upgrading method, workers, under the expert guidance of their foreman, not only increased their ability to smash war production records, but also helped themselves to better jobs at better pay. I think you'd be amazed at the detailed thoroughness of the various courses given for employees by U.S. Steel. A man taking an apprentice course in sheet metal working, for example, goes through all phases of his actual work before he qualifies. That's in addition to classroom work in mathematics, mechanical drawing, and economics, plus a series of shop talks on subjects vital to the particular trade he's chosen for himself. And he gets paid all the time he's learning. Just as this training benefited the nation at war, so is it important today as U.S. Steel resumes its peacetime operations, training men for the production of steel, the strength of the nation in peace as in war.
In just a moment, we will return to tonight's play. And now we continue with the second act of Jacobowsky and the Colonel, starring Louis Calhern as Colonel, Annabella as Marianne, and Oscar Cartwright as Jacobowsky. The three of them, and Sabanievich, the Colonel's orderly, are now on the highway to Saint-Jean-de-Luz, hoping to escape to England.
Jacobowsky, what has happened to your automobile?
No more gas.
Listen.
German plane.
Quick! Out of the car. Under the trees.
Please excuse me. I'll be back.
Jacobowsky, where are you going?
Colonel, you will notice that at this moment we are at least 24 hours behind schedule if we are to meet the man with the gray gloves at Saint-Jean-de-Luz.
Schedules I do not bother with. To arrive, it's a note.
I think the nearest city is Bayonne. Being a city, it may have gasoline to bring back for the car. In Bayonne, they might even have something for us to eat, too.
But you'll have to walk.
My dear lady, this is a time when whole nations are taking exercise. Goodbye.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Jacobowsky, take the blanket out of the car. We'll rest.
Colonel, I think it's better we walk also.
Walk?
Monsieur Jacobowsky will not come back to war Germans. He is not fool. He ran away.
Possible. He left so quickly.
But why should he stay here when we are out of gasoline?
Why should he come back?
I think he might have reason.
Is it possible his reason would be You?
Oh, do you think so?
I am not a suspicious man, but less and less I like this Jacobowsky.
Thaddeus, I feel certain Monsieur Jacobowsky will return. Oh, it's so nice here under the trees. Why do you keep walking up and down? There. I've thrown down all your precious papers under the lining in my hat. Now, I'll put it in the hat box. And now, I'll put a patch on your poor coat.
Without my uniform, I feel like not a man.
But, Thaddeus, those clothes you are wearing are a disguise. Under the conditions, they're a kind of uniform, too, aren't they?
This sounds like Jacobowsky. Now, all the time you talk to Jacobowsky, sometimes I come upon you, you stop talking. Suddenly you stop. Why do you stop?
I suppose Monsieur Jacobowsky...
I do not ask you why he stopped. I ask you why you stopped. This is how I suspect. You no longer feel like me. You feel like Jacobowsky.
Oh, Thaddeus. Just because you are angry, you needn't throw things. That is Monsieur Jacobowsky's raincoat. You shouldn't throw it on the ground.
You throw away my heart, I throw away Jacobowsky's raincoat.
How can you say things like that?
He loves you, this Jacobowsky.
Ridiculous. Oh, do you think so? Perhaps he does, a little bit. I find it touching. Very...
Oh, obviously you do. Never did I think I would have for rival S.L. Jacobowsky. But no way out. If he returns, we fight.
Thaddeus, have you no other way of coping with a situation than to fight?
For man of honor, there is no other way.
You should be grateful to Monsieur Jacobowsky.
If he comes back, I will show my gratitude by allowing him to engage me on the field of honor.
The field of honor. It's quite true. You are a medieval man, Thaddeus. Yes. That idea I got from Monsieur Jacobowsky. Oh, Thaddeus, why do we quarrel when we are so hungry? You should know I love you. It is only for you and with you that I would leave France for even an hour.
Then I am able for anything. Mm-hmm. My melancholy vanish. Let me give you a kiss.
Hello.
Oh.
Look, all of you, please. Some exotic meat and spread and cheese. And Colonel, especially for you, this fine cognac. All for you.
1912. Bad year. But very well, we drink. Have you got gasoline in your pocket, too?
I'm working on the problem. Try one of these hard-boiled eggs, my friend.
Jacobowsky, I resent you always tell me what to do.
Is that all about me you resent?
No.
Thaddeus, please stop this. I don't want any more nonsense about Monsieur Jacobowsky. Many women, I'm telling you, would be very lucky to get him. And especially in times like these.
Very well. This so desirable gentleman, I challenge you.
Challenge?
Yes.
To what?
To duel. To fight.
What for?
Shabunevich, my pistols. Jacobowsky, you are afraid of me.
Yes. Marianne, do you know what I heard in Bayonne? The armistice has been signed. The Germans are going to occupy most of France.
Jacobowsky, why do you fear me?
Thaddeus, I won't have this.
You hear this, Jacobowsky? He says he's afraid of me. I tell you the truth, I am afraid of him.
Thank you for the compliment.
Yes, I, Shabinsky, who have fought the Nazis on the Prut, on the Vistula, on the Somme. I, who have never known fear. Now I know fear. I am afraid of you, Jacobowsky. I'm afraid of the silence you have made between Marianne and me. I'm afraid of the thoughts you have that you make her share. I'm afraid of the laughter that laughs when I approach. Talk against you I cannot, but fight you I can. Fight you I must. To prove to myself I do not fear, I fight, because if I fear, I die.
But to prove this to yourself, I probably have to die.
Perhaps you will kill me. Why not?
Why not? Then who will drive the car?
You are too practical.
Too practical. That's the trouble, Marianne. He's a 15th century man, but unfortunately I live in the 20th.
20th century? I do not like.
I don't like it either. What can I do about it?
20th century has no poetry, no heroism, no honor. 20th century is full up with fleas and disinfectants and fleas. Everything is sanitary, sterilized, small rooms, Good, cheap manufacture. But where is style? Who gives elegance? These things I see no more. What is modern is small. You are small men, Jacobowsky. By fighting you, I give you stature. What the Nazis take away from you, I give you back. Honor.
And what if I kill you? Why not? In my veins flows the blood of great fighters, David, Saul. And the truth is, yes, to the truth, you are right, Colonel. I do love her. I'm happy to say the word for once. I'm happy to hear the word for once. I love her. I love her. I love her. Pistols. Marianne, will you forgive me if I kill him? I still couldn't drive a car. Before we begin, Colonel, Jacobowsky is your second. Who is mine?
I am.
And I must survive. But first, one technicality, one little technicality.
What is this technicality?
In my knowledge of dueling, gained mainly from reading novels by Schnitzler, I have the impression of the man who is challenged to challengee has a choice of weapons, correct?
Correct.
Then I don't like this gun. It doesn't suit me.
But he is exactly the same as mine.
Let me see. This other one is much better. With this gun, I feel I could work wonders.
All right. I will change. Jacobowsky, pour me a glass of cognac.
I won't let you fight. I'll stand between you if you fight. Your bullets will pass through me.
Yes, Marianne, please stand in front of me for just a moment.
Why? Oh, what are you doing? You take the bullets out of the gun? Yes. The gun you trade to the colonel? You take the bullets out of it also? Yes. Oh, what a lovely duel.
Marianne, stand aside. Colonel, prepare to meet your maker. May God have mercy on your soul.
10 paces.
5 paces.
All right. 5 paces. Jacobowsky?
Ready, gentlemen?
Ready?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh!
What's the matter?
Look, the Germans. They're here.
Put down those guns. Don't know. We have you covered. What is this doing about? What? Well, say something. Madame, what is this little fellow pointing a pistol at the big fellow for?
Well, I'm trying to tell you, this tall gentleman, my opponent, can't speak. He has an obsession.
Obsession? What kind of obsession?
He believes that every man, in this instance me, has betrayed him with his wife, so insists on dueling. In the last 4 days, he has killed me 6 times. It's the only way to bring him back to the insane asylum where he escaped during a bombardment. As you can see, these guns are empty.
Let me see. They are empty. Very interesting. This could only happen in France, typically French. Let me see your papers.
My papers?
Yes.
Here.
Jacobowsky, unmistakable. Former member of the German Reich, now denaturalized.
I have checked the lady's papers. Everything is in order.
That's fine. Now, may we leave?
Not you, Jacobowsky. I'll keep your papers.
My papers?
Yes. But if you take his papers, in these times, how will he exist?
Without my papers,
Without papers, Jacobowsky, you are exactly what you are with papers. Come to see me at headquarters tomorrow. Then, over this way. Let us speak in private.
I am coming.
What do you think of this fellow that cannot speak?
You are the Gestapo man here. That is your department.
There's something about his face that's familiar to me.
Let us take him along.
Might be wiser to see where he goes. They're escaping fast. I think I'll let this fellow go, but on a leash. He will lead us to the man we want.
Suit yourself. I will tell them. Madame, you will not be annoyed farther. But get this dangerous patient of yours to the nearest clinic at once.
That's the trouble. Madame wants to go there, but she has no gasoline. Could you help her out with a few gallons?
Of course.
Sergeant, give these people a 5 gallon tin of gasoline.
You see, we have strict instructions to treat the population of the enemy countries with the most polished courtesy.
Here's your gasoline.
Put it down. Thank you.
Right about, face.
Monsieur, they are gone. Are we safe?
Marianne, you must go.
Then leave you?
I can't leave. He took my papers.
Monsieur Jacobowsky, I thank you for saving my life. I will send to Polish government in exile for decorations for you.
May I take this loaf of bread instead?
Certainly, monsieur.
Now I'm armed for the future.
Colonel, it begins to rain. It's necessary we go.
Good luck, Monsieur Jacobowsky. I hate to leave you.
I have a memory and I have a hope. Thank you for both.
Get in the car, mademoiselle. Colonel, quick.
No. I have reconsidered.
Why, Colonel?
Jacobowsky looks like civilian. In these rags also I look like civilian. But I am soldier. And so is Jacobowsky. I cannot desert my men, even if he is only volunteer. Jacobowsky, you come with us.
Colonel, you must remember, without papers, I would attract danger to Mademoiselle, yourself, Jabuniewicz, not to mention Poland itself.
Poland? Ah, you are right. I had forgotten. Officer like myself cannot even have emotion.
He can't even think. Get into the car, please.
Close door. Start motor, Colonel. Release brake.
Monsieur Jacobowsky, please take care of yourself. When you get good, it's over there, on the ground.
I will.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Strange, appropriate. Where's my coat? There's something under it. The hat box. The hat. That Schlemiel has forgotten his papers.
You are listening to the Theater Guild on the Air, presented by the United States Steel Corporation. Tonight's play is Jacobowsky and the Colonel, starring Louis Calhern, Annabella, and Oscar Carlwright. Before we start our third act, here again for United States Steel is George Hicks.
When General Edward Braddock, back in 1755, set out to attack Fort Duquesne, a young officer in his army who knew the ways of Indian warfare suggested that the general deploy his men so that they would be safe from ambush. The young officer was George Washington. But in spite of this advice, General Braddock marched his men in typical close formation. And as the British Army approached the site where Pittsburgh now stands, the Indians attacked from ambush. A stunning defeat was inflicted, and Braddock was mortally wounded. On the site of this massacre at Braddock, Pennsylvania, a little over 100 years later, another great pioneer, Andrew Carnegie, started his first steel works. Carnegie foresaw the importance of rail transportation in our young country. He had seen iron rails wear out in 6 weeks, and he knew that steel rails lasted longer and cost less. So ground was broken on this old battlefield for the Edgar Thomson Works. The Edgar Thomson Works is today known as the mother steel plant among 16 major plants now operated by Carnegie Illinois Steel Corporation, one of the subsidiaries of United States Steel. The manufacturing operations of Carnegie Illinois Steel Corporation center in 2 major areas, the Chicago-Gary and the Pittsburgh-Youngstown districts, in each of which Carnegie Illinois and its 100,000 employees are proud to play an important part in the community life. 2 mills in the Chicago district and 1 in the Pittsburgh district are among the world's largest steel mills. During World War II, Carnegie Illinois alone produced as much steel as all of Germany. Carnegie Illinois produces steel for our country's new buildings, for railroads and other forms of transportation, for automobiles and farm implements, refrigerators, stoves, washing machines, and many other household appliances. Also tin plates in which to pack the nation's food, and alloy and stainless steel for a wide variety of specialized uses in the home and industry. Carnegie Illinois, an important member of the United States Steel family, is producing the steel which will help to provide the better things we've all been waiting for.
And now for the third act of Jacobowsky and the Colonel, starring Louis Calhern as the Colonel, Annabella as Marianne, and Oscar Carlwright as Jacobowsky. Separated from his friends, Marianne and the Colonel, and stripped of his identification papers, Jacobowsky has managed to make his way to Saint-Georges-de-Luz, where the man with the gray gloves awaits the Colonel.
Bartender, cognac.
Excuse me.
Are you speaking to me?
My name is Jacobowsky. I've just arrived in Saint-Jean-de-Luz, and I came to this cafe because I was told it was the place to go.
Well?
I don't often tell my experiences to strangers, but I have had a very interesting adventure. I've been traveling with a Polish officer.
Is that interesting?
As I was saying, our journey was interrupted, but I don't understand why the colonel is still not here. Don't you think some effort should be made to find out what happened?
Why do you ask me?
Because I noticed you are wearing gray gloves.
Be careful. Look, outside Gestapo.
Excuse me, I'm going in there.
Here they come.
Everyone stand still. All right, sir. You wish to speak to this scum?
This is an interesting place. I don't see the people who were escaping in the automobile. Look in the men's washroom.
Yes, sir. Nobody is in there, sir.
We'll come back some other time.
That's not. All right, everyone. They're gone.
Bartender.
Yeah, what have you had?
Where's that anxious little man that was here a moment ago?
Didn't you notice? He went into the washroom. Here, call out the little man.
Yes, sir.
No, not in the men's room. He went into the ladies' room.
All right, sir. You can't come out now. You were lucky.
Not lucky, scientific. I've learned that males, even policemen, have a reluctance to investigate a place reserved for ladies.
Now, about this colonel of yours, I'm afraid I can't wait. If he comes, will you give him a message?
Yes.
The Germans are watching the waterfront. We've had to change our plans. The corvette will pick him up at the mole at Hendaye, 5 miles south of here. Goodbye.
1 second, please. On this corvette, will there be possibly a place for me?
I'm sorry, out of the question.
That's a man of few words.
Everyone's gone home. Those Bosch always frighten away my customers. Good night, monsieur. I'm going to lock up.
No. Don't do that. Then my friend couldn't get in.
What friend? Quiet. You're here again. Gestapo.
Excuse me. I'll be in the ladies' room.
I'll go with you.
It's all right, Colonel. Come in. Nobody here. The man with the gray gloves, he is not here also? Hey, I miss him. Too late. Always too late.
Courage, Tadeusz. Maybe he'll come later.
First, I leave behind the papers.
Oh, the papers were in my hat box. It's my fault as well as you.
And Jacobowsky. Where is Jacobowsky?
Probably borrow from Germans passage money to America.
If Jacobowsky were here, what would he tell us to do now? Hey, always two possibilities these Germans. Either they find the papers or they do not find the papers.
Right.
If they do not find the papers, that's good. If they do find the papers...
Yes, Tadeusz?
If they do find the papers...
Yes, Colonel?
No, that's terrible.
You don't talk quite like Monsieur Jacobowsky. Not quite.
No, but I lived like Jacobowsky. Hunted. Only he knows what to do, and I do not.
When I don't know what to do, I fix my makeup. I'm going to the ladies' room and put on some lipstick. Excuse me. Oh, Monsieur Jacobowsky. And Tadeusz, look what he has in his hand. My handbook.
Here, Colonel, please take these papers. They gave me heart palpitations.
Oh, Monsieur Jacobowsky, we have missed you so. Haven't we, Tadeusz?
Well, yes and no.
I have a message for you, Colonel, from the Messiah and the Grey Glove.
Yes?
Watch out, it's the Gestapo. Run.
Too late.
Very interesting. An interesting coincidence.
Don't move, any of you.
Well, my dear Monsieur Jacobowsky, greetings.
Greetings.
And you, the tall one, you, my dumb friend. Are you still jealous?
Oh, please, sir, don't excite me.
Why not, madame? Why don't you get yourself a man? Take one of my boys. Why do you stay with this man who looks too stupid to say anything, even if he could talk?
This is not to endure.
Ah, he speaks.
Let go of me. Thank you. Do you feel his gun in back of you? Marianne, Jacobowsky, get behind me. I will keep this worm in front of me. I will use him for shield.
My goodness, the Colonel has turned into Samson.
You Gestapo snake. Stand where you are.
Very interesting maneuver. Now, you have the gun. I am unarmed. Shall we negotiate?
Not with you.
No. There are not. Get behind it.
Yes, I shoot. He tried to trick me.
Colonel, you got the Gestapo man, but the lieutenant got away. Listen to me. That corvette that takes you to England sails from Hendaye.
Hendaye? Good. You come with us.
No use. I asked him, but he said out of the question.
Colonel, quick, I find door. It goes in alley.
Jacobowsky, you come with us. From now on, you are taking orders from me. Jacobowsky, child, I adopt you. Marianne?
Where are we?
On a little road back of the town. Jacobowsky?
Yes, Colonel?
Shabunyevich. I hear. Follow me.
But we can't see in this fog.
Colonel?
I am listening.
Can you see?
I feel.
Can you smell?
Smell?
Please turn around. The opposite way. Do you notice that way? The breeze comes from the ocean. You can smell it?
I have changed my plan. Now we go in the opposite way. We go by smell. Jacobowsky?
Yes, Colonel.
Stay close. I do not want you to get lost. Marianne.
Yes, Tadeusz. Oh, I'm sleeping in mud.
Stay close, all of you. We are getting near to the ocean. I smell it.
Someone is coming. Scatter. Everybody hide.
Marianne. Jacobowsky. Shabunjevich. You do not hear me? I am here in ditch. In mud. I, Tadeusz Bolesław Szczepiński, am in the ditch.
Marianne? Colonel? They are gone. Well, there are two possibilities. Well, that German radio car.
We repeat, all persons of the Jewish race are to be executed. We repeat, attention.
Madame?
Yes, Abunebi. Sit quietly.
Nobody here. This is Andai, see? This is pier we meet boat. But no boat.
Marianne?
Monsieur Jacobowsky, are you all right? Did they see you?
If they saw me, I wouldn't be here. Did you hear the new edict?
I heard.
They have added to it. Now they say no more than 2 persons allowed to gather on the streets. Should they detect a group of 3, the third one would be shot. I'm always the third.
I go find Colonel. I come back.
Do you think he will find Tadeusz?
I think the Colonel will find us. The Colonel is a wonderful fellow.
He will be, one day.
You love the Colonel?
Yes. But until he learns a little of what you know, I cannot marry him. He must learn that the world is not made for him alone. He is learning. Oh, who's that?
Why are you two not laughing?
Tadeusz! Oh, thank goodness.
You are very serious.
You see, Marianne, if he finds us laughing, he objects. If he finds us serious...
If I find you serious? That's worse.
You're back? They are getting closer.
Everywhere are Germans. Once while they pass, I have to hide and ditch like hunted animals. And I think, formerly other people lie in a ditch, and I ride by proud. And I believe it's right that they should lie in a ditch, and right that I should ride by.
And now?
Now I know that all over the world today, people are lying in the ditch because I, aristocrat Szczepiński, did not even care. Hey, now I know what it is to be Jacobowsky.
And I feel sorry for you.
What's this you say?
You think because you have been lying in a ditch for 15 minutes, you know what it is to be me. It's not so simple. You have to lie much longer, my dear Colonel. And the difference is this. When you get up, you're still Colonel Szczepiński. When I get up, I'm still S.L. Jacobowsky. The ditch follows me.
Colonel Szczepiński?
Yes, who's that?
Man in gray gloves. I find him. I bring.
Are you Colonel Szczepiński?
I am Colonel Szczepiński. I have the documents.
The boat will be here in 3 minutes. Ready?
Ready, Marianne? Jacobowsky, ready? Ready?
I made an appointment with 1 colonel, not with 4. This isn't a cook's tour.
I don't go.
What about this lady?
My wife.
It's very difficult. The boat is full.
Do you hear that? Without my wife, I don't go.
Well, very well. For her, I stretch it for in 2 places.
3 places?
I said 2.
This Monsieur Jacobowsky, he goes with us.
He can't go.
Listen to me. This Jacobowsky is a soldier, like me. With his property, with his own life, he protects the cause of my people who bring him only bad before. He rescue my papers. I ask you as officer, can I leave this man to the bush?
Tadeusz, listen to me. I am what you said. I'm your wife. In my soul and in my heart. Forever. I will wait for you, Tadeusz.
Wait?
Till you return. Take Monsieur Jacobowsky in my place. When you return, I shall be waiting.
Marianne, without you, I cannot go.
Tadeusz, listen. Here I stand, at the outermost tip of France,
I cannot tear myself away. How can forsake my people to go into a foreign land, even for love?
For days now my heart tells me this. The closer we come to the sea, the more I realize you could never leave France.
Yes, the boat. Are you ready?
My wife remains behind in France. This gentleman goes in her place.
That's impossible. For your wife, I will make a place.
Listen, I cannot leave this man, Jacobowsky, here. There's no place for him anymore on earth. 10 steps forward is the sea. 10 steps back is death.
Please, Colonel, stop worrying about me. I'm used to facing death.
But if they catch you?
I promise you I will live as long as the circumstances permit. Colonel, you are endangering your mission. Go.
Very well, Colonel. The second place is his.
His?
Yes, I'm not convinced by your arguments, Colonel, but by his tenacity for life. Jacobowsky, England can use you in the Ministry of Propaganda.
I prayed for a Moses to open the channel for me. You're Moses.
You can come along with my name is Battle. Hurry, get in the boat.
Marianne, it's strange I leave you now, but for the first time, I feel sure of you.
Be sure. And come back soon, Pario. I'll be waiting.
I come back. I come back.
Farewell, madame.
Come back to France.
Farewell and hail.
Farewell and hail.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lawrence Langner again for the Theatre Guild to say thank you, Louis Calhern, Annabella, Oscar Carlwright, and the cast of Jacobowsky and the Colonel. Our play John Ferguson, which is on our program for next week, is very important in the Guild's history. In fact, without it, there would have been no Theatre Guild. We were down to our last penny when we put it on, and it was our first real success. It was written by my old friend St. John Irvine, who first introduced me to Bernard Shaw in London. Irvine said to me at the time, "Bernard Shaw's a strange man, Lawrence, but very kind. Just look at this postcard he wrote me when he learned I'd lost a leg in the war." Shaw's postcard read, "Sorry to hear about your leg, but every tree is better for a little pruning." Is this an example of his kindness, I asked. "Why, certainly," said Irvine. "Shaw doesn't believe in coddling people. I found it much more encouraging than a lot of sentimental sympathy." Well, Irvine wrote many fine plays after that, but his finest was John Ferguson, which we shall present over the air next week with Martha Scott, Whitford Kane, Carl Swenson, and Edmund Giroux.
The United States Steel Corporation hopes that you will be with us next week at the same time, when we will bring you the Theatre Guild's first great success, John Ferguson. The staff for the Theatre Guild on the air includes Homer Thickett, director, George Condolf, producer, Armina Marshall, executive director of the Theatre Guild radio department. The score was composed and conducted by Harold Levy, and tonight's play was adapted for radio by Philip Lewis. Programs in this series of particular interest to servicemen and women are broadcast overseas through worldwide facilities of Armed Forces Radio Service.